The Fayetteville Doctors have lost it. We're here at Cape Fear Aesthetics to see just how they were able to keep those pounds and inches off. Hope you enjoy the show. Hello, my name is Dr. Edward Dickerson, and I'm assembled here with our expert panel. Thank you very much for attending our How the Fayetteville Doctors Lost It. We're here with our audience, and we're going to talk about a few things in reference to physician-supervised weight loss. And we're just going to go over some questions and answers, and hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of things, figured out here today. We're going to have our guests introduce yourself. We're going to start over here on my far left.
I'm Dr. James Pilgrim. I'm a retired military dentist, 30 years.
I'm Dr. Gwenesta Melton, rheumatologist extraordinaire in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
I'm Dr. Zita Baker. I am a dentist.
Well, the first thing we wanted to kind of talk about is just kind of get their real life situations, how they came about this, get a little introduction, and essentially then we're going to talk about, just some specific questions. So, Dr. Melton, kind of tell me what was your kind of influence or what was your motivation to do something like this?
The motivation came predominantly from my mirror. My clothes were not looking good. I was very disgusted with how my physical outward appearance was, and physically I wasn't cardiovascular wise, I wasn't able to walk or hike as much as I wanted to. Have a family history of adult onset diabetes. Runs in my mom's side of the family, and that was also a concern since I am no longer a young spring chicken. My spouse, who is a well-educated nephrologist who eats properly, was also very concerned, and we were going back and forth about what type of diet I should be on. I will have to say that I got to see his handsomeness, Dr. Dickerson. I saw how good he was looking. I thought, brother, what are you doing? What you doing? What you doing? And he said, I've been the HCG diet. My wife and I have done this diet. I saw his lovely wife. She was looking svelte and good, and went back, did some research on HCG itself, and got motivated to go ahead and try that particular diet, because I've been looking at Atkins diet. I was looking at the Medifast, and didn't like any of what I saw. And after I saw the Dickersons, I thought this is the as he so aptly told me, this diet is the truth.
Dr. Pilgrim, how about yourself? Tell me about, what you kind of saw and how we got you in and what it's done and how it's made you feel.
Okay, I'll give you a little history. Number one, the Lord has blessed me because I will be 76 years old my next birthday here. And when I first started this diet business, I was weighing 285 pounds. And I began to take a few pounds off on my own through the Atkins diet. And it was relatively effective, but not as effective as I wanted it to be. And then I met this young man right here, who I consider one of my sons. He and my son about the same age, and a few other good things about him. And we started talking about the HCG diet and decided to give it a try. So my son and I decided to try it together, and we did. He didn't really need it as much as I did, but we did it together. And he did one round and lost 25 pounds or so. I did 3 rounds and lost pretty close to 50 pounds. I tell you, it really changed my life because I was on my way to becoming a diabetic. As a matter of fact, my physician, David Stewart, told me one day, he says, Dr. Pilgrim, you might as well get your insulin needle ready because that's where you're going. You're heading in that direction. Boy, that's all he had to tell this old dude. I changed my whole modus operandi and got it all together. But the good thing about it, the thing that I like so much, is that I got a closet full of clothes I can't wear anymore. Those size 50 suits that I was wearing. Right now I wear size 38 pants, which is what I wore when I was in the military. I wear a size 42 to 44 suit, which is what I wore when I was in the military a few years ago. And it's really changed my whole life, just changed my whole life. If I would encourage any of you, if you're even contemplating a diet, do it under the guise of under the direction of a physician. Don't do these diets you see on TV. And there are some other HCG products out here. Don't do it. Do it under a physician. Make sure you're getting the proper medication for this diet. Now, one of the things that I had to prepare myself for, most of the doctors don't like needles. I'm going to tell you that right now. We can give the best needles in the world, but we do not like needles. And when Dr. D told me, he said, well, you're going to use these little bitty needles every day to inject some of this HCG solution. I said, oh my God. The first time I tried it, it took me 15, 20 minutes to do that first little injection. But boy, I had enough fat around here.
Yo, that's the truth. That is
I
the
didn't
truth.
feel a
I
thing.
didn't even notice. I didn't even notice.
I had my wife in the bathroom with me, my son, everybody.
Praying.
Handshake. But, you know, I went through 3 rounds, and I'm thinking, as a matter of fact, I'm going to talk with Dr. D, I'm thinking about doing another round, and I'll tell you the reason why. My insurance runs out at age 86 or 87. I'm going to change my insurance to go till I'm 100. People are living longer. I plan to be there. And in order to do that, when I get on that scale, I want to be under that magic number that will make the price of the insurance be here or there.
Dr. Baker, you're a recent graduate of the protocol. Tell us your experience.
Well, my experience has been just a little different from the other docs here. I have been trying for the last 5 years to get 20 pounds off. And I started off wearing a size 12. I sit here today as a size 6.
Give me some dap.
And I'm just as happy as I could be. When I got married 9 years ago, I was in a size 4. And we lived in North in D.C., moved to the South, discovered sweet tea, and all these dessert pies and things that we just didn't have there. And over time, I looked up and I gained weight. But I am different from a lot because I like to work out, I like to exercise, and even with all the exercise and the working out, I just could not lose the weight. I hired trainers, I ran marathons, and I just could not lose the weight. And so when I saw in GNC, I saw a bottle of HCG and thought, oh, what is this? And I tried it, and I starved myself doing everything that was written on that little piece of paper, and nothing happened. And then I bumped into Dr. Ray, and I said, oh my gosh, what have you done? And he said, oh, you need to go see Dr. D, go see Dr. D. And I said, okay. And then I saw you in the airport, but you didn't see me. And I said, good gosh, what has he done? I told you. That next Monday is when I called your office after I saw you. And I
didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, I saw you and I said, okay, I can do this. I can do this. But like Dr. Pilgrim, I can give a shot, but I did not want to give myself a shot. Right. So it took me just as long to give myself that shot. And I got it done. But I tell you, the more weight you lose, then it starts to hurt just a little bit because that fat is gone. But you'll push through it because every day you get on the scale, you lose 1 more pound, and it just motivates you to do it. And I thought initially that I was going to be hungry, and I was not. You know, those first 2 days when they tell you to eat everything in sight, I did. I did, from McDonald's to Chick-fil-A. But day 3, just, getting up in the morning, preparing, my coffee or getting my apples and my fruit together, it was very easy. And your advice, getting everything ready for that whole week, really helped me. Yes. And even to today, I only did 21 days and lost 18 pounds. And I'm like Dr. Pilgrim, I stayed between 145 and 147. And when I started off, I was at 165.
During the protocol, guys, there is where we only have a 500 calorie intake. Now that doesn't mean that you're running on 500 calories. I'm going to get you those 3,000 to 4,000 calories, but we're not going to put them in your mouth. We're going to get them from here. Yeah. So what I want you to think of the HCG just mobilizing that energy so that you could once again not feel hungry and things of that nature. Gwen, give me your experience about, first of all, those first 2 days that we call the gorge days. And the gorge days are where we want you to actually increase those ready fat calories. So when we drop down to the 500 calories on that day 3, that you're not hungry and you won't get those transitional headaches. But tell me how you felt when I said you can eat anything for 2 days. And
I went crazy. I went absolutely crazy. I ate donuts, M&Ms, Tootsie Rolls, everything. In fact, you saw me. We had a physician doctors meeting at Cape Fear Valley, and he was just watching me gorge out laughing. But it was very important that I did that for those 2 days because I immediately dropped to 500 calories and got rid of all the carbs. I did have a headache for 2 days, and my medical assistant and I were wondering if it was the HCG. By day 5, she and I figured it was carb withdrawal. It had nothing to do with the HCG.
Right.
And then I was a carbaholic and was having withdrawal symptoms from that. And then it all went away as soon as my body got used to being on the 500 calories and then the carbs were gone. But it was very important for the gorge because I needed immediate release of some type of stored up carbs for the energy that I needed for day 3 and day 4, and then the fats start mobilizing by day 5 and 6. I was never hungry. I was never hungry. Never was hungry.
As a matter of fact, do you ever drive down Bragg Boulevard and see that sign that says "Hot Now"?
Yeah.
We went down to the beach that weekend, and I made a stop by Hot Now and bought 3 dozen of donuts.
Oh, Krispy Kreme.
My son and I had we ate every one of them. It was good. It was good. We did that for 3 days. We ate for 3 days, and then on the 4th day, we really began to start taking the injection, and I had never had a headache ever. The only problem I found was that you've got to get some fiber in your body. Otherwise, you're not going to poop.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, it's very true. You have to have some fiber.
And hence one of the reasons why having a physician, and there are, of course, other options and things of that nature. And we go over those things in your protocol. We've been through pretty much just about everything that even the original protocol from 1954 talks about. And the ability, just as you've had to pick up the phone to talk to me or one of my assistants, is once again the difference of here's the medication and then we're just gone out there. Once again, this is a support system. We have the app. And for you guys that we haven't let you know, we have the newest Dr. 2 app. That's going to allow us to essentially, as you enter your information in, your weight, we've added the blood pressure daily, and we've added the glucose for our diabetics. And here's the real great thing, is I will be able to actually monitor you guys real time along with my team. So if there's a change or no change, we will know about it, and you're going to get a text from us. Hey, how are things going? Are you monitoring your blood glucose? Hey, it looks like we need to come off this particular medicine. Go talk to your doc. So it is not just take this off the shelf. And so once again, this is an entire protocol that has, research assistants, Dr. Dickerson and the rest of his team. So that's fantastic. After you finished your gorge, after you basically started, tell me about even your energy levels throughout the day.
It was pretty high. I think on day 3, it was more so my mindset thinking, okay, I cannot eat. I'm going to be hungry. But really, my energy level was high. I mean, I felt very productive during the day. I'm really busy. The office is a fast pace, and I just did not get tired. I did not get tired. And Dr. D said to me, taking this may increase your sex drive. So that did, and my husband thanks you. But, but I didn't have a lack
PG
of
show.
energy.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
But But my energy level was up. It was definitely up, and I still feel very energetic. And it's been about 2 weeks since I've stopped the protocol, and we took our after pictures, and I am just so excited.
All I did with these 3 individuals is giving them a tool. The tool will not work unless you make it work. Does that make sense? And more importantly, you have to believe that the tool will work. As I tell all of my folks, once you've made a decision to come here and do the time and the investment, it's done. Just follow it. You're going to be on autopilot, and you will have the mobilization of the fat. Some lose inches first, some lose pounds first. But, you know, there is not something that you have to need in addition to. All right, let's talk about, guys, what you actually received when we first, the protocol, after we've given you, talk about all of the other things that the protocol gives you to start out.
Received a kitchen scale, a digital scale, which I follow to this day. All of the little containers that you need to prepare your food, how to store your food, the application, how to put that one in, the protocol booklet that actually had recipes in it and frequently asked questions that were there to reference, little references to the amount of fruit, if you needed to have a half a cup, if you need a whole cup. Excellent little pros and cons in the protocol booklet. In the protocol booklet, the scale is very big. The kitchen scale is very important because you can measure the meats appropriately, and that digital scale is absolutely awesome because it's measuring tenths of a pound, which is sometimes what you're losing for that day. 3/10, 4/10 of a pound, which was phenomenal. And then, of course, the support, all the phone numbers to call you guys up.
And then, of course, we had, and you know, once again, when you finish the protocol, one of the things that we reward you with, of course, is free spa treatments at the spa.
Oh,
we love those. And then also,
yes.
we have teamed up with our partner, our Omni Gym, which allow you, so, hey, once you've lost those 20 or 30 pounds, now you're like, well, I'm ready to go to the gym because I've already seen some success. We have jump-started you. Think of, I am now giving your trainer or your training buddy a blank canvas, and we've taken all the fat, and now you can actually just work on the muscle. So literally in 2 weeks, the definition starts to come about. The energy level is there. But those are the fantastic things that we have actually, you know, worked with. Of course, the lab evaluation, and we really try to figure out, hey, what are some of those things that will prevent you from meeting your success?
I was just interested in muscle mass versus fat loss. Like, are you losing muscle mass?
Let me go to the dentist.
No. I say no because before I came in, I went to my trainer. We did all the measurements. We did the muscle mass test and all. And afterwards, when I went back, she thought, "Oh, you're just eating great. You know, let's do your measurements and your tests." And I hadn't lost any muscle mass. And for me, it has been fat from my back and from my midsection and my thighs. And that's like the problem area. And for me, I simply hate my arms. But now I'm seeing muscle in my arms. I mean, I'm seeing it all. And when we took the measurements, again, it's just fat loss, about 3 inches.
If you just go ahead and eat rabbit food and go on a binge, you know, of actually working out and exercise, you will lose some weight. But there's 3 types of fat. First of all, the fat that you eat for ready energy. And that's essentially what we're providing for you when we mobilize that fat. So once again, you're getting 3,000 calories a day. You're just not putting in your mouth. The second type of fat is structural fat, okay? This is the breast tissue, this is the face tissue. And then the third type, which is really tough for us to get rid of, is the storage fat, okay? You know what I'm talking about. This under here. I don't even do this operation anymore of liposuction in the neck because I can get a better facial body reduction on my physician-supervised weight loss versus them going into surgery. And it's much more cost-effective. So now, we've actually flipped the switch. If you go to the gym and eat right, yeah, you're going to lose some weight. But you start losing this fat and this fat. But this doesn't leave. So you start looking like a pear. And then you're not happy. Now, if we actually flip the switch And what happens is your hypothalamus resets, and you'll read about that when you read the protocol. All of a sudden now it mobilizes those storage fat pad, and you're left with your muscle versus losing that muscle mass just from working out hardcore cardiovascular or CrossFit and things of that nature. So what we've done is now food is no longer your sex and no longer your God, and it provides you with just the energy that you need to once again get you your target shape. And for, what we do is we see the guitars back. The guys like the truncal mass or the belly that we lose. The women love going shopping in their own closets, if you will. Okay? Go ahead and talk to me about value. What this actually means as far as the value of the things. I mean, I've had clients say, you know what, I can bend over and tie my shoe without holding my breath. Right. Tell me some of those things that you can look out there to that camera and say, hey, look, this is what I can do or I couldn't do before.
Well, one of the things, I was an avid walker, and my husband and I love walking and hiking. In the fall of 2011, we did that in the Basque Country in Spain, and I was about 50 pounds heavier. It was difficult. It was very challenging, and it was very difficult. We came back from Sicily about 3 weeks ago, having lost 46 pounds. I was racing up Mount Etna and keeping up with the guides who are much younger than I am. I'm not going to say how much younger, but much younger than I am. So I've had plenty of energy. I am able to do my walking and exercising so much better, and my hemoglobin A1C has gone back where it's supposed to. So it's given me a great deal of energy, and my patients have been extremely, they've noticed. They have really noticed. So you didn't
necessarily have to talk the sermon, you could show them the sermon.
No, I opened the door. Some of them I had not seen in 3 months, and every 3-month visit has it. What you doing? You looking good, Doc. You looking good. Very, very impactful to show them that stuff can be done, to actually have the energy to show family members that it has been phenomenal. Little packets that Dr. D slipped out to me, told me to share with my patients. They're all gone. I have to get some more before I leave. But they have been very, very, I've got patients asking me about the diet. I have people in church asking me, because the church is, they don't know if something's wrong with you, so they don't know if they should praise you or pray for you.
Yeah. Right.
So if they say, oh, I've noticed you've been losing weight, thank you for noticing. Ooh, yeah, you're looking good. Ooh, that's a praise. Yeah. They just don't make sure you haven't got cancer or something.
Well, one of the things that I noticed too, when I had my first appointment with my personal doctor, who was internal medicine, and they did my labs. He called me in his office after he looked at those labs. He said, Dr. Pilgrim, did we make an error here? But I had already gotten on the scales, and you could see that I'd lost all these pounds. But my labs went from like getting a grade of F to a grade of B+.
Tell us what you were eating while you guys were on the protocol.
So the 500 calories are, and the protocol is designed specifically to help burn fat. So there are certain vegetables, there are certain fruits, and there's certain proteins when in combination will enhance fat burning, will help the fat burning and put your body in a state of ketosis, which will help you burn more fat. So the things that are specifically picked help to do that. So they're not just randomly done. So you mix the fruit and the vegetable and the protein properly. There's a large variety, I thought, with the proteins, from eggs to chicken to lean beef, which I never found, veal, chicken, crab. Then the vegetables had spinach, and they're very specifically designed. There's onions. The fruits were very specifically designed with very low glycemic. They're not going to induce a lot of sugar. The apple, the orange, the grapefruit, the strawberries. And you can mix all of those if you go online and find the little dietary things to mix them together and make them tasty. You can use all sorts of seasonings that are very good to enhance the taste of the food, and then you just eat it slowly. Put it on a small plate, so you look like you have a plate full of food, and it's filling, and just remember that what you're putting together is proper portions of things that are going to enhance fat burning, so that when you wake up the next morning, you will see the decrease in the scale. I'm gonna have to beat up Dr. Pilgrim. The men lose the 1 pound a day. The women not losing a pound a day.
I don't know. I did.
I did. Yeah, that's the old men and young women, middle age, that seen the menopause. Ain't doing it that fast. Ain't going that fast.
When even though we did not see the numbers on the scale drop,
no,
we saw the
shrinkage.
The inches.
But so don't be discouraged.
But another thing too, how Doc was talking about the different food that you can put together. That app that you can put on your phone helps you with that. There's one section that says, "Can I have that?" And you type in that food, and it'll tell you if you're on this phase, you can, and if you're not, you cannot.
Well, I've got some new updates. We've actually added not only the recipes, but we've actually videotaped the cooking. So essentially, we're talking about everything from curry, shrimp, and cabbage. We're talking about those delectable items. You will actually, on this protocol, I can cook, and it doesn't take a whole lot. The great thing is, even if you have people in the family who are not on the protocol itself, they can eat the same food, and it's not going to be bland, and passively, because they start eating better, all of a sudden they start losing a few pounds, not as much as the people on the protocol, but the great thing is, there's two things that motivate us. One, we've already talked about the increase in sex drive, but the other thing is money, okay? What my clients come back and say is, I've reduced my grocery bill significantly while I was on this protocol. I don't bring in the chips and the junks even for the kids, and all of a sudden, the children want to see what's on the back of the label, and now you get the opportunity to educate them on fat, on sodium, and things of that nature. And all of a sudden now the family has seen some success in as little as a week or two, and are much more willing to say, let me help mom, let me help dad out, or what can I do? And so we've found that it ultimately brings that family together, which is a really nice thing as well.
That's right.
So we're really excited about the upgrades that we have. We have it for the iPhone, we have it for the Droid, we have it for the tablet. We even have those individuals who can use it on the computer. And for those who don't necessarily want to have it digitized, we still have, of course, the booklet for them that they can keep with you. So we have something for everybody, and that's what, once again, makes us different. Any other comments about the app itself that you guys wanted to share, how helpful that was?
I had the older app. It didn't have all of this. Now you've upgraded your apps, and that's I'd like to see that one. When I do this next phase for this.
I enjoyed it. You put mine all on the iPad, so the weight scale of the graph was phenomenal. The shopping list, when my husband and I went out to do the first shopping, we just used it right off the iPad. We did the shopping list right off of it. The recipes I found were actually in my little booklet, so it'll be easier just to find it there. The descriptions of the diet, which things you can eat for each phase, phenomenal. And I will have to add on to my husband. He wasn't dieting with me, but we ate the same things. He would get a bigger portion. He would add his carb when I wasn't. He lost weight too. He lost weight too.
Everybody likes Wi-Fi. The folks from Appalachia have worked with a company called Withings, and now we have where you can actually stand on the scale and you do not have to even punch in things. So now we've actually gone high tech. You can stand on the scale. So we do have now even more of a luxury type of protocol. You stand on the scale, it'll automatically deliver to your app and then automatically come to me.
Beautiful.
And we've done the same thing with the blood pressure monitor. Okay? So the goal was to, once again, take out a little bit of the human element, but once again get you excited about your health and in control. The kids want to weigh themselves. They want to take their blood pressure. Mom, or Daddy, if you're taking your measurements, what is your glucose? So all of those things, and to be able to give that output to your primary care doctor at the end of the protocol, now they are not only impressed, but you have a log of what's done.
Yeah.
I have individuals on this protocol who are on insulin pumps. Well, we've seen that they're not delivering just a little bit more than their baseline insulin versus the highs and the lows that they would have to respond to. So those things are fantastic. We had a question out in the audience.
Yeah, you're talking a lot about the app and that kind of stuff. Do you have any type of forum where, like, people that are actually on the protocol can kind of come together for some support? Or?
Yes, we do. There's a couple of things that we have. In the new app, there is a, if you will, password protected opportunity to talk to other members. The first place that you have in your questions is we want you to call our office. You'll talk to my medical assistants who've actually gone through the program. You'll talk to our clinical staff. And once again, we want to make sure that the information that we're giving to you is, once again, good, clear medical advice versus somebody's opinion. That, once again, is going to take us. Now, the great thing that there are some Facebook pages out there that we will recommend that we've seen some good questions and answers to, but we want you to, once again, know that we're there for you. And with the new app, literally you can text the question and one of my staff will actually get back with you. So we want to make it very convenient for you. We don't want you to have to, interrupt your day and pick up the phone. So all of these things. And for those people on the app, and let's say we've noticed that you have not lost a few pounds in a day or two, an alarm will be sent to us and say, hey, we're just kind of checking on you. You're doing okay? Haven't had any adjustments? And to be able to get that somebody's actually looking out for me is, once again, the difference between what you're just picking up off the shelf. And that's what we think that why we have such a great success rate. And it's not just about, pounds. We're doing inches. We're basically getting people off cholesterol medicine. We're dropping people off of their diabetes. We're taking them off their hypertension med in 40 days. I mean, it's amazing when I get the call back, hey, I want to tell you thank you so much for taking care of so-and-so. They've able to, once again, control their health. So we're pleased with that. We've had a great seminar with our expert panelists who have provided information and insight. We hope that you've been inspired to reach your goals. Look forward to seeing you soon.